Dr. Temple, you mentioned that you competed in an Ironman. Could you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Well, the event itself was not the hardest thing. The year of training that it took and the commitment. You have to be proficient at three different sports. You have to be a proficient swimmer, you have to be a proficient cyclist, and you have to be a proficient runner. And it's just a lot. Again, it's a lot of dedication and a lot of training. Ryan mentioned the amount that I'm exercising is, to prepare for a marathon, I'm 50 miles a week, usually. And then with cross training, things like this are a big time commitment. And they're things that life is not always, does not always avail you the time to do that stuff. So it's important to pick and choose when you're going to do it. It's not always going to be perfect, but because otherwise you're just kind of setting yourself up to fail and feel bad about yourself, which I wasn't, that's not for me. So I had to pick a time where I knew I was going to be able to dedicate my year to doing it. And it means getting up early in the morning. I listen to a lot of David Goggins. Sometimes when I want to feel bad about myself or good about myself, I listen to David Goggins. And basically it's like, if you want to do something, you're going to make the time to do it. How much time are you really sitting watching TV? How much time are you really sitting, on your phone? How much time are you really watching Netflix? That's the time that you could actually be doing some kind of activity. And I'm really into goals. I just always want to have a goal in front of me, and I like the journey towards the goal. So it's the accomplishment feels awesome, but it's also, what do I learn about myself along the way? And I learned so much about myself in that year of Ironman training. I learned that I hate to ride the bike. I learned that I can swim and not drown. I learned that when I say I'm going to do something, I am capable of doing anything that I put my mind to. The only limitations I have are the ones I put on myself. And that comes from somebody who, 16 years ago, I was not a doctor. I was, a waitress. Not that there's anything wrong with being a waitress, but it's, I couldn't carry the tray anymore of drinks because my hands were shaking so badly because I was having shakes and seizures from alcoholism, to kind of changing everything about my life. And it's the journey. The journey has been so great. And the journey through athletics has just shown the spotlight on, I had no idea who I was until I started, getting physically fit.
Do you find, Coach Ryan, that a lot of the people that we work with share that kind of same drive as Dr. Temple, or does it vary?
It varies for sure. But goals are goals. And, I was just having this conversation with another client, not Tracy, but, setting long, medium, and short-term goals. And each of those is so different. And your goal could be as simple as getting a routine in the morning of getting up and doing some form of exercise. That's a great goal, and there's no, one is not better than the other. The goal of running an Ironman is not better than waking up in the morning and getting 30 minutes of exercise. They're different. And it's important we view them that way because they're so highly individualized. But as long as you have goals, it gives you a framework for how you're going to live your life and how you're going to spend your days and what you're going to set your time to and prioritize. And goal setting is probably the biggest topic I jump right off with my clients is, first phone conversation. What is your goal? Why are you here? What can I do? And that's a long-term goal, right? And, with Tracy in specific, the goal was lose weight and get her performance. Well, then we split that in two. We spent the first half of her time and said, okay, great. We're going to focus on this first. And then we made the transition. When we got her there, then it was, we're done with that goal. We're where we're at. We've achieved that goal. And now we can set new goals. And our new goals is for her to run her fastest marathon ever. I'm putting you on the spot, Tracy.
No, that's good. That's good.
So Dr. Temple, with that goal, what you do have a goal to run your fastest marathon time ever. Tell us about that.
Ryan has a goal for me to run my fastest marathon time. No, I'd love to. That would be great. Yeah, and I know, and I'm capable of it. And it's a long time coming. You know, the weight gain over the past, I want to say, I don't even have COVID to blame. Honestly, I love to use that as an excuse, but my life did not change. I came into work every day, nothing changed. So it really was the hormonal imbalance and my metabolism being all screwed up. But the weight gain really was hard on me. And I was not performing well in all of my marathons. I never stopped running, but they were all so much less than I knew I was capable of. And I'm back. I feel like I'm back. And I feel so much better. That's, you know, before you had asked me like what was unexpected. One of the things that was so unexpected was I lost that weight feeling great the whole time. There was one time where we slashed my carbs kind of at the end. That it was, I was a little hungry, but honestly, I have felt high energy, really good all the time. If anything, I kind of complain a little bit about there being too much food. It's hard to get it all in sometimes. But I know that I can accomplish this because I just accomplished something really big that I kind of thought was impossible given my age and what my hormones were going through. I just really didn't have a ton of hope, but I thought I'm going to give this a last ditch effort, and it totally worked. So why not run my fastest marathon ever? You could do it.
And I will add in there, by the way, that I know that's a lofty goal, but doable, and she's very capable of doing it. We do focus on weekly goals. You know, just last week, the focus on her long run was do the run and feel good.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
It was just do the run and mentally feel good when she got done.
Yeah.
And we got there. So, you know, again, setting these big goals, which is great, but then setting these small, achievable goals in the short term. And that's a piece as well.